You are just making yourself look like fools. I think about 99% of what you said was wrong.
That could be all of our videos.
Yeah, I know, right?
Welcome to the Redacted Apostate. I'm Carl.
I'm Nicole.
Well, guys, we did it. Can't believe it was this quick and took this long, but we hit 1,000 subscribers.
Yay!
Yeah, and we always kind of talked about after we hit 1,000 subscribers that we would go through the comments. And I think that's kind of evolved over time, but what we've come to is that we're going to try to match the cult or the video with the comment. So my lovely wife, Nicole, is going to read the comments, and I'm going to try to guess which video or cult that we're referring to here.
The cult or cult leader?
The cult leader or video, because we've done videos too that weren't specifically about cults or cult leaders as well. So yeah, I'm actually kind of excited and a little bit nervous. Do I know the comments that we got on our videos?
So, it feels like we get a lot of negative, mean comments.
Yeah.
But it actually is only 27 that I found.
Wow.
Really mean comments.
That's pretty impressive.
Or super culty, negative comments.
Yeah.
It felt like a lot more. Maybe I'm missing some. Maybe some of them got deleted accidentally.
Well, we don't.
We don't delete the cultist comments.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because our whole thought process was it's an interaction that YouTube likes to see. So oftentimes we try to troll back on those comments. To get another comment back.
Right. I was surprised. I was thinking it was a lot more. It feels a lot more because, our human brains are conditioned for us to see the negative because we don't want to get killed.
Right.
So we keep those negative because it kept us alive. But then the negative comments, it was like they stick in your head.
Yeah, and only that too, but I feel that through this whole process, I've always tried to improve a quality every time. Always make the next video better, whatever it is.
We try, but we fail mostly.
Most of the time, yeah.
We fail.
It's one step forward, two steps back.
Yeah. All right.
So, so let's get into it. Let's start with comment number 1.
Okay. Well, the first one is really easy.
Yeah.
And the funniest, actually.
Oh,
the funniest comment. And I don't know who said this. Some of them I put the who said it, but most of them I don't. So the first comment is, the two biggest problems I have with 144,000 is your haircuts. Not wrong.
So let me guess which about the 144,000. What would this possibly be? Is it the 144,000 video that we did?
It's 144,000 and bad haircuts. I think they meant our hair color. I think that was more.
No, I think it was haircuts.
Haircuts.
I have a bad haircut.
I do. I have a bad haircut too.
We're trying.
Being unemployed.
When you're broke.
You
use a Flowbee. So.
Oh, I haven't seen one of those in years.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's probably why our haircuts look so bad as we haven't seen one.
We haven't seen a Flowbee.
Oh, okay.
Well, your haircut. Okay, so the next one is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
These people have no idea what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
They're just spewing out random ideas and fears. And these people, that's the two of us.
Oh, okay. I want to say it's Carlos Castaneda, but it's not. It's not Carlos Castaneda. Because we didn't put out any fears
about Carlos because he's dead.
Yeah. It was more misinformation than putting out fears. Yeah, more fake news than anything else.
Yeah.
So for us putting out fears, it would have to be a cult that is what I would consider dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe Sanjuki, it's not the South Korean gold.
Okay.
So what have we done that? Oh, is it the Black Israelite
Yep.
church? Yes.
Straightway.
Yeah,
Yep.
Straightway. There you go.
The cult leader, the one from the NFL.
Yeah, yeah. That kidnapped his son?
No.
Yeah.
The son went missing, and then we had to send our comments to the police.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
That's right.
I don't know where the status of that case is, but they found Bryson.
Which was good. Yeah.
Bryson Muir, they found him.
And he was unharmed.
Random ideas and fears. A
Yeah.
missing child is fears.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It is. It is.
Okay.
I used logic.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Next one is going to be super easy.
Mm-hmm.
Read the writings before
Oh my
you
God,
speak
Carlos
of them.
Castaneda. That was so easy.
What's so funny is that we were not talking about Carlos Castaneda's writings.
No, we were talking about the missing witches.
The missing witches.
Yeah.
We weren't talking about him or any of his beliefs. We just said a little bit about his
Well, what
beliefs.
was interesting is that I have a sliding scale for cult leaders, right? And he seems Carlos Castaneda. He seems that he's more popular now than he was probably when he was alive. More of his teachings have this kind of romantic ideology kind of associated with it.
Maybe.
So I look at his stuff and I go, you know what? It's kind of harmless at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't have the time to go reading 50,000 books to understand.
Well, I did. I read Amy Wallace's book.
Well, no.
I
But
read
you
her
didn't,
book.
No, but you didn't read his books.
Because I don't
And
give a shit about him.
That's important, though. You have to read his books to be able to talk about his witches.
Read the writings before you speak of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a cult leader.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. We don't read books written by cult leaders. We don't care about the cult leaders because they're kind of ew.
Okay, next one. At Dead Press 9534 says,
Ooh.
it sounds like being your kid is really terrible.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry they have to endure being who you wanted them to be.
Yeah.
I stopped watching as soon as you started talking about your kids.
It's oh my God. I can see his face and I just want to punch it. Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
Yeah. Because we told our child to think for himself.
Yeah.
We're horrible parents.
Yeah.
And not to trust anybody, including us. That was the exact conversation that we had with our child. And because we said this to him.
Because he was spewing Andrew Tate crap at us.
Right. Specifically when he was saying that women are the issue and that they're gold diggers. That was and he didn't even understand what that term meant.
Yeah, he didn't even know.
He was just literally repeating stuff that he actually didn't know anything about. We are awful parents when we said, think for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and not what anybody on the internet says. Horrible people.
Horrible.
That's what
Well, they stopped listening after we started talking about our kids.
we are. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, they don't have children probably. So
I don't
they're
know.
like, ooh, they have kids. Ooh, breeders.
Well, isn't that what Andrew Tate espouses? That he's a family man
That doesn't have a family.
that
Yeah.
doesn't have a family.
Yeah.
So weird. So such a weirdo.
He is a weirdo.
All right.
I think he's still in jail too, so good on him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next one. Stop talking so we can hear.
I actually think I know which one this is. This is an early one. This is an old one.
Actually, I don't have a cult leader next to this one, so
Yeah. I don't think it was from a cult leader thing. It feels like it was. I want to say it was from the trial of the Chad Daybell trial.
oh yeah, I don't think so. I think this one was Karen Reed.
Karen Reed.
Karen Reed.
Yeah.
Stop talking so we can hear, because I kept saying the R word every other R word.
No, that one wasn't.
You R word, you R word, you R word. It's like, oh my God.
It wasn't that one. It was. They were just watching our
live stream.
And where
We're talking
we're talking about it.
about the fan. Like the most exciting thing, other than the hung jury, was the fan, the ceiling fan. That ceiling fan was more interesting than the prosecutor.
That's very true. That's
Oh
very
my
true.
goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to prepare for this one.
Okay, I'm ready.
He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. People hate God's word and hate even more the people that try to live by them.
Black Israelite.
Yeah. And then there's like hand arrows pointing to the beginneth a possession. It's like, we're supposed to believe this book.
Well, let's also talk about what that passage actually is saying
Yeah.
to you, which is basically that you get a dowry when you marry, not the possession. Now, I am not also excluding the fact that in the Bible there's not slavery, as well as a woman is
A possession.
a possession. But that one specifically, they're talking about your dowry that you receive whenever you marry.
What's my dowry?
Your dowry. No, your father gets
Oh.
the dowry.
Oh crap, my father's.
Yeah, he already spent it, so it went into his veins. And
Oh, so, yeah. The dowry that you paid for me to my dad went into my dad's veins.
Yes,
Okay, got it.
yeah, it's been long
It was-
gone.
It was a Winchell's donut, actually.
It's two Winchell's donuts.
2 Winchell's donuts. That was my dowry.
Wait a minute, does that mean I own you now?
Oh, beginneth a possession with those 2 Winchell's donuts.
I want my donuts back.
Screw you. I want my donuts back.
Okay, I'm good. I'm good.
I don't know how you get Winchell's donuts in your veins, though.
Well, I mean, they're like round crack. Winchell's donuts are delicious.
And they are. They are.
So, like, not as good as Pennsylvania Fosnots, but hey,
Actually, I've never had a Pennsylvania Fosnot.
they're good.
They sound like they have apples in them. I don't like apples.
There was one, yes, that had apples in it. Yes.
Yeah, maybe that'll be the dowry for my next husband. It'll be two husband number 2. 2 Pennsylvania Fosnots.
Like you're ever getting rid of me. I'm like the clap.
Here they're forever.
Even when I die, I'm still gonna be here.
You like my suit?
I do like your suit.
Yeah.
You look.
Yeah. I actually had a job interview, so wish me luck.
Was it with your other husband?
Yeah. And his donuts.
Your other future husband?
Yeah. All right. Next one. Do you live under a rock
Yes.
and you don't, and it, like, there's a word missing here, and you don't Tim McGraw or Faith Hill? I think no. I think what they meant to say. And you don't know Tim McGraw or Faith Hill?
Oh my God. Yes. Oh, that's gonna be a difficult one. That's gonna be really difficult. Because what was I'm trying to remember the circumstance where we were talking about different music, and
It's Alec Baldwin.
oh yeah, I wouldn't have gotten that one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gotten that one.
But I love that. Do you live under a rock?
Yes.
I didn't even know like why we were talking about Tim McGraw or Faith Hill. Maybe we were talking about how I don't like Westerns.
Yes. Yes. And I think I think the discussion got around to the fact of like, there's a lot of, like, if we're not interested in it, why are we putting a lot of time and effort into it? Which, I think that's how most humans are. But apparently when you're on YouTube, that is unacceptable.
You live under a rock.
And you have to know everything about everything.
I actually do know Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. I just don't know
I know
their
the names.
music.
Yeah, but if you played it for me, I couldn't tell you who it was.
Yeah, but even if you played, I think Eminem, we wouldn't even know who it was.
Eminem? No, I wouldn't. Yeah,
You
would
would?
know Eminem.
Yeah,
He's got a style to it.
we're not very good at music.
No, we just like listening to it, but just it's irrelevant who's singing it.
Yeah. Okay, next one.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped watching after 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Too much joking and laughing. And then the sub comment, me too.
That was our comment.
I think too much joking and laughing.
It wasn't Emma Daybell. No, it wasn't Emma Daybell. It was about that time though. This was like one of our early videos. And it was, I don't know, it might have been Emma Daybell because we were doing a lot of joking.
Oh, Emma Daybell was hysterical.
Hysterical, yeah. Because you got to get married. And be the adultier adult.
I love the me too, though. Me too.
I mean, if you're going to feed the trolls, at least feed them something delicious.
Well, you know? It wasn't us, though. It was somebody else.
Oh, I thought it was me that wrote that.
No.
Wow.
It was somebody else.
Yeah, because that would have been like my response, too.
Me too.
Me too.
Yeah.
I stopped listening to.
Yeah, me too. 5 minutes, too much joking and laughing.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't Emma Daybell. It was not Emma Daybell.
It was not Emma Daybell.
I'm going through the list.
Give up?
I do.
JP Miller.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I would not have gotten to that.
No, that one's too hard.
Yeah.
JP Miller is a pastor whose wife mysteriously passed away. And he's not a good person. He's actually a pretty awful pastor.
Yeah, and not just an awful pastor, but which that's where cows go to graze.
Pasture.
Yeah.
Not pastor.
I thought that was the meat that you put on the spit.
That's all pastor.
Oh.
Maybe that's JP Miller.
Yeah, he's a meat spit. Anyways, yeah, he's a pretty horrible human, just in general.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's still preaching to a congregation is pretty amazing.
That he still has a congregation.
Yeah.
Is pretty horrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
I don't understand why you would want to know about the person but not know their work. It just does not make sense to me.
Because Carlos is a dick.
Yeah. And he's a homophobe and a sexist.
Is he really a homophobe?
Oh my God, he is. If you read Amy Wallace's book, she talks about how horrible his homophobia was.
Wow. Well, I mean, maybe we should start reading this because then we'll hate them more than we do on the surface.
I don't know, like out of all the cult leaders we talk about, pretty awful cult leaders.
Yeah.
I am mostly closely aligned to Carlos Castaneda.
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
out of anybody, his is the most appealing to me. Like, there's something inside of me that longs to be on peyote in the desert.
Yeah.
So, like,
it's called being in your 50s.
Right, exactly. You know, Black Rock and Burning Man.
Wait a minute, is that heroin? Black Rock? Oh, no.
No, that's where Burning Man is.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Not heroin, no. Peyote. Or the frog, the licking the frogs, doing a licking of the frog ceremony.
Like frogs thing.
No.
Totally different.
No. The licking of they call that ceremony something in Mexico. You can go do the ceremony, doing an ayahuasca ceremony. Like all of those kind of like really appeals to me.
You just want to get high out and
in
not be
desert.
around the family. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
No doubt. Get some sleep. Jeez. Yeah. So Carlos Castaneda is the most appealing to me out of everybody.
Yeah, but that's like saying that I want to get shot with the smallest caliber gun. You know, it's still pretty crappy.
Yeah, he is pretty crappy.
When you know the alternative is that you could just go to the desert and get high and enjoy yourself.
You don't need a shaman?
You don't need a shaman.
Okay.
I mean, you can take one, I guess, but just I mean, if your outcome is just to get high somewhere, then go do it. Like,
That's a little
don't use
dangerous.
a religion. Don't use a religion to justify that you want to just get high in the middle of the desert and commune with the dolphins.
I don't want to just get high. I want to go on a spiritual quest. I want to go on a spiritual DMT quest.
Yeah. Okay. So you just want to get high. I get it. It's okay.
Never done it, but there's something appealing about it.
Do you want to have ayahuasca and have an NDE at the same time?
Yeah, totally. Actually, I think the people
I can help you with one of those too. Ayahuasca. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay.
NDE. Jeez.
All right, next one. Way too comfortable with the idea of kidnapping and torturing people for their own good. Who are the dangerous weirdos here?
Well, us. Yeah, we are. We're definitely. But not when it comes to the Occult Awareness Network.
Yeah. I don't know, like, how we're comfortable with kidnapping and torturing people.
I know this one, and what we were talking about in that conversation was we were wondering was the kidnapping is a kidnapping ever justified for the means? So if you are kidnapping, well, first of all, if someone is underage, that's not kidnapping, that's getting them back from being kidnapped, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like if your 17-year-old is being held by someone,
and you kidnap them
and you
back.
grab them back, that's not kidnapping, that's getting them back from a kidnapper, basically.
Yeah.
But once they are over the age of 18 and you take them against their will, then that is kidnapping them out of a cult. And that was the question. Is there ever a time that it's justified? And our answer was, don't know.
Yeah.
It's,
it's a weird line.
It is a really weird line. And are you ever justified to do that kind of stuff?
I think the weirdest thing about that Cult Awareness Network is that Scientology now owns it.
Yeah. And they call it the Cult Awareness Network.
Yeah, it's just so strange.
Yeah. And they've actually changed the name to like the Religious Freedom Organization or something like that, which is like, look how religiously freedom-ish we are, and we're not a cult at all.
Yeah.
Look the other way. We just ruin organizations that try to end cults.
Yeah.
Which is a very odd thing.
Okay, this one is a little long, so let me see if I can.
I think I'm doing pretty good so far.
Yeah.
I missed like one or two, so.
Okay. This is at Ma Watkins says, you are highly misled and ignorant to the issues you are trying to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
You talk as if you have inside knowledge and an important opinion on this topic, when you don't have either. Your summary is laughable. Yeah, no shit. You are.
If we're not laughable, then we're not doing our job.
You are just making yourself look like fools. I think about 99% of what you said was wrong.
That could be all of our videos.
Yeah, I know,
right? And they would be accurate. Other than our opinions being important, they are important. Our opinions are very important.
Yeah. We have thoughts.
It's not Shinju. It's not the South Korean one. I'm still waiting for a South Korean one, but that's not one of them. I'm gonna say Andrew Tate again. It's not though. No, I can tell by your face it's not Andrew Tate. I'm just gonna say names until I get the right reaction out of your face.
You want me to say?
Give me a little more time. Give me a little more time. Because there's a lot of cults that wouldn't do that.
Laughable.
Yeah. I have a feeling it's the Black Israelites again, but I don't think so. It's not Carlos Castaneda. I don't know though.
Yeah, the Carlos Castaneda cultists, they have a certain way of
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah, and telling you that this is wrong. It's that's what I'm looking at is the
Yeah.
reaction.
Yeah.
That's why I said Andrew Tate, because this is more aggressive. This is a very aggressive. You are wrong. It's
You're
laughable.
laughable.
Yeah,
You're
and
misled and ignorant.
and because it's not about Mormonism, it's not about Scientology, because that would just be a copyright strike or cease and desist letter that's sent to you. It's not Shinjuku, the South Korean one. We didn't get a lot from the followers there. We got a lot of people that were actually had left there. That was actually, I like that. A lot of the comments.
Yeah, we got a lot of good feedback.
From that
them.
one. It's not Andrew Tate because it's not aggressive enough. Yeah. And they didn't also question my sexuality or my
Manhood.
my level of my
Alpha.
alpha or zeta male ishness through there. So it's got to be a cult that is still in existence, not so aggressive to talk about that, but not also like the Carlos Castaneda, which is just read the teachings and dream about it. Sort of thing. So who else have we talked about that would have been on there? Kind of going through our list, our Rolodex of cults. I feel like I'm on the right path, but I'm just not getting who it is.
Give up?
Yeah, I give up.
Tim Ballard.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly right. That is an existing cult leader that is not as aggressive. Because I
don't think Tim Ballard is a cult leader. I think he's more of like
he's a cult leader
enabler, yeah. And he's like a controller. What do they call that? Like he's a high controller. Likes to control everything, the narrative around him. He's definitely a narcissist.
Yeah, and he's unfortunately in that the same belief structure as the Daybells and the Frankies and all of them. So, yeah.
Okay, this is my favorite comment. Ready? Yeah. This is so frustrating to listen to. The guy knows literally nothing about the Bible.
That's right, baby.
How can you host this? You ought to research before critiquing. Otherwise, how do you add value? The woman saves this conversation in so many ways. Cha-ching.
Well, the doy. That's the whole point of this podcast is like, I'm the idiot that doesn't know anything, and she actually knows the stuff about the Bible. Yes, I don't know much about the Bible. I'm not changing that.
No. Yeah.
And
well, because the Bible says, he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
That's right. That's right. That's right. It's the only thing I know about the Bible is that I own her. That's the only thing I need to know about the Bible. 144,000, I'm assuming, is that one.
No.
No. It was not. It was because of those kind of comments that we followed up on the 144,000. So it was a reference. Oh my God. Which cult used 144,000 and like all of them? So let's see here. Who we're obviously talking about something biblical, and we were talking about the 144,000 number in this cult. So the Visions of Glory. Was it the Visions of Glory one?
No, this is Shinjoji.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the South Korean cult.
Absolutely. No. I don't know. I don't know much about the Bible. I'm actually pretty proud of that fact that I don't know much about the Bible.
Or Carlos Castaneda or Visions of Glory or any of the Andrew Tate video onslaught we were subjected to in 2021 and 2022.
And I like, and the funny thing is that one thing I'm good at is pattern recognition. And so it doesn't take me long to understand a person, especially a cult leader and stuff like that, because the more research you do on this stuff, the more you realize they're all the same.
Yeah.
There's there's nothing unique about these people.
Yeah, it's either one person or 12, or
Y-
it's either a governing body or the 12 apostles or
Yeah,
whatever,
they're-
one dude.
But the way that they control everything is the same, and
Yep.
it's all about unlocking the human brain and understanding how to unlock the human brain and what drives us to do things.
Well, I think that's what's important. We're deep in this conversation, but we may want to do a whole podcast about this. When you're in the cult, information is highly controlled.
Yep.
You're not supposed to read, in my case, apostate literature, right?
Which is everything, basically.
Well, not necessarily.
Mhm.
So you're not supposed to read apostate literature, which is anything against the Jehovah's Witness religion, or slightly negative, or because it's the media. But what you are allowed to do is read apostate literature against the Mormons. That's why I feel like
That's great.
these type of conversations about other cults than the cult you were raised in is important, because then you realize those patterns like you were talking about. Oh my goodness, the 144,000, all of these cults use it, and they use it in different ways to control people. And then that starts unlocking maybe some doubts. Maybe the cult I was raised in that uses this number is not the right one, because you're allowed to see others. And that really was kind of one of my eye-opening things, was learning about other cults and getting interested in other cults.
Right.
Because then I started to realize, wait a minute, I was raised in a cult.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it wasn't instantaneous for me. It took years to get to
No, and
this
I don't
point.
think it's going to be instantaneous for anybody.
No.
It's
No.
it's all you have to do is just question one thing, and a lot of times, because it's built in such a way that it's when you start unlocking the brain, and it's the same thing with coercive control or cults or even a bad relationship.
What I've learned is one-on-one cults. That's what they're called.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's a code one.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
And what occurs is that when you build your power and influence in that way, it doesn't take much. It's just that one card that's removed, and everything starts to collapse over time.
Sometimes. I think a lot.
I'm not saying
like
quickly. I'm just saying that it's that beginning. It's pulling a thread. It's more of, I would say, not a house of cards, but pulling a thread.
Pulling a thread.
You see a little fray, and you just go, what is this? And then
it's that the first time you have a doubt and you don't immediately squash it with your cognitive dissonance, that's the first thread. And then that one that you didn't squash immediately leads to more and more.
Can lead to, yeah. Or you just double down, because that happens too.
Yeah, like if you don't immediately double down and say, this is not right, but if you allow that to go in your brain, then that generally leads to one to the next.
And it's basically the way that you were controlled and brainwashed into a cult. You just do it in reverse. It's the same way. You're brainwashing your own brain back out of it. Unbrainwashing.
Unbrainwashing.
Yeah, it's
rebrain washing with a different solution.
Power washing your brain.
You're power washing your brain. I love those videos. Okay, next one. Why speak about something you've not read and do not understand? Speculation while completely ignorant is the blind leading the blind.
God. It's probably Carlos Castaneda. It sounds very like him.
Of course it's Castaneda. Of course it's a Castaneda cultist.
Yeah, especially with the reading the thing. Guys like, man, buy his books. Just buy his books.
And read his books.
And read his books. I'm like, come on. How much do I need to know about dreams are real before you realize how much BS it is?
Yeah. Okay, next one. If you didn't know that John the Baptist and Apostle John are different people, you really have no business talking about this. NGL, which I think NGL is not going to lie.
Yeah, probably. That sounds right.
You didn't know that John the Baptist and the Apostle John, because there's so many freaking Johns. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Visions of Glory.
No.
Again, Senjuji?
Yeah, because the John, because he was the
reincarnation
reincarnation of John.
Yes.
And we were talking about all the Johns, and you were like, wait a minute, how many Johns in the Bible are there?
Yeah, and they're not even the real names.
No, I
Too,
know.
which I think is hilarious that they like named these people after the fact that the writers
Yeah.
didn't even live during Jesus' time. But whatever, we're gonna get
And
into
you don't know the difference. You have no business talking about this.
That's right. I don't have any business giving my opinion
You got no business
on a podcast about our opinions.
Oh, this is a good one.
Mm.
Cannot stand the prattle.
Yeah, me neither. It's really bad. It's really bad. That one, was that Emma Daybell?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, I think that's an Emma Daybell
I
one.
cannot stand the prattle.
Prattle. Just love that word, prattle.
It was. You mentioned a 70-year-old boomer dude. Cannot stand the prattle.
It actually feels more like it's a 70-year-old Karen that said that.
Yeah.
Like, could it be Satan? You know, like, get me on the prattle.
I realized going through these comments, there was only one Emma Daybell apologist on the list.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I didn't include this on here
Yeah.
because they really felt sorry for her. And I feel sorry for Emma Daybell too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she's doubling down on the cognitive dissonance. She is not allowing her brain to.
Yep. The second that you go, like, if a family member is accused of killing 2 kids and your first thought is, LOL, well, how do we, let's move into the property where you found them, like, and then sticking your tongue out at people and like just her actions.
So she's just a cult child.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like hardcore. And she's digging in even hardcore.
Yep.
And I really do. I feel sorry for her too. Yep. But she just got up there and just lied.
Yep. Absolutely. But, any different from any other cult, that's what the members would have done.
Yep.
Lied for the cult leader.
Okay. Wouldn't you research the subject of your podcast?
No.
This is really bad.
Yes. This is really,
really bad. No research. None. None. Not that I was raised in a cult.
Yeah. So the way that I do research is that, like, we come up with a
spit in the wind.
Yeah. Well.
And you see if it hits you, and then you're like, "That's my research."
I pee uphill into the wind.
Yeah. That's my research.
No, I just look at the name and then I kind of extrapolate from the name what the cult's about.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then formulate my opinion based on just how it sounds in my head. So, like Slim Jim. Oh, yes. I got it now. He's like a thin piece of meat.
I don't even think you're allowed to say his name. Because once we hit 1,000 and we were looked at monetization, that was the one.
No, we had a lot of discussions in that about self-harm and things like that.
Okay.
So, and we might have let the word slip a few times too. It's really difficult going through. And
I wonder if just Jim Jones is.
I doubt it.
Demonetized.
I doubt it. I think it's because of the subject matter and it's a horrific event that occurred in our history,
But it's one of those things that's really important to talk about. Like you have to understand Jim Jones and what happened, and you have to understand what happened at Heaven's Gate, and to really, or Ruby Ridge. And I think like one of the next big discussions we have to have is Ruby Ridge, what happened there.
Exactly.
Because it has implications to cults today.
Yeah, and it's kind of the follow-up on, the House Davidian Waco, Texas issue as well. And there's this whole underground, and Oklahoma City bombing came directly from that.
Ruby Ridge, yeah.
Yeah, and, like he was there at Waco, Texas.
I don't think he was.
He was.
Oh, he was?
Oh, yeah.
He was where the media was.
He was not. He was not. He was out. He was outside.
Where the media was,
Yeah, and he had like signs and stuff, talking about the government and stuff like that. So, yeah, so there's all these connections, and that's what I love. I love those connections that
Yep.
occur, and that the people that were in those groups are still they still exist and still are
Mm-hmm.
doing their things with militias and stuff like that.
Okay, so this was a little confusing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna read it the way that we got the comment. Tis satire question mark.
Okay, I don't think he. Okay, so one, that's Andrew Tate, and two, I don't think that English is their first language. I think English is their second language, and it just didn't translate well.
Oh,
And I think what they were trying to say is this satire?
yeah,
Is what they were trying to say.
Andrew Tate is satire.
Yeah. Talk about a person that
Can't take a joke. As someone who can't take a joke.
well, I was gonna say someone that it has public and personal persona are completely
Mm-hmm.
different. So
Yeah.
because if you look at his videos and then you go like, oh my God, this guy's like, teaching about how to be, a better person and a better man, and like literally said in his video, like, oh, I have my own opinions and they are my own, and everybody has their own other opinions and they should be respected for their opinions. And then immediately goes right back and just says, like, you don't own a Bugatti, you're an idiot kind of thing. And it's like, but my opinion is that owning a Bugatti is not important.
And the way
to my life,
the way he was in interviews with news reporters.
Yeah.
It was just horrible.
Yeah, he's a horrible individual. And then but all the videos he put out is just like, the warrior's way and stoicism, and didn't understand what stoicism actually meant. And it's just, yeah. Is this satire? It's like, no, but our subject matter is.
Yeah. Okay, so this one is, you're going to commentary, but not read any of the books. No,
thank you, Carlos.
No bueno. Yeah, Carlos. No bueno. No bueno.
Does that mean you don't get any chocolate?
Yeah, no
Okay.
chocolate for you.
No chocolate for me. Good.
No ayahuasca chocolate for you.
Oh.
Oh, bufo. That's it. Bufo ceremony. The licking the frogs. I knew it. It's called a bufo ceremony.
Bufo bueno.
No, it's bufo bueno. No frog spit chocolate covered stuff
No
for
gay
you.
frogs for you.
Nothing. Okay. At why not 533 says 2.47, 2 minutes in, and these guys already show how ignorant they are.
That's right, Andrew Tate.
Smiley face.
God, we got so I will have to say that the overwhelming negative comments was Andrew Tate. Hands down.
We usually estimate about 75% dislikes to likes. It's about our average. It goes from 67 to 75%. A lot of it is justified because we suck.
Yeah.
But most
I'm
of
winging it most of the time.
Yeah. But most of the time, it's cultists coming in. And the Andrew Tate cultists were by far the worst.
They really swarmed. Now, I will have to say that so I was looking through the comments and was just shaking my head like, oh my God, sipping my tea. I don't really care. But out of all the comments, there was one, and the person came on and said, I really want to discuss this. And they discussed it in a way that felt very much like, I think you have this wrong about Andrew Tate, and I want you to understand, and I want to try to explain why I feel this way. And not, you guys are idiots, and your hair and your dusty muffins.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you have that comment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes. Okay, so I responded to that person because, one, that if you come at me with hostility, then I'm gonna just be like, LOL, It's
Me too.
It's funny, yeah, me too. Me too movement.
Me too.
But this guy actually was like, like I want to discuss this, and I said, okay, here are my opinions on this. Here are the reasons why. And then he went to the same thing, like, you didn't even watch the videos. And I'm like, here are his exact phrases from the videos that I watched about him. Here are the things that he's saying. And basically the outcome of this was, okay, I think I need to take a break from commenting on Andrew Tate videos just to prove to myself that I'm not in a cult.
Right.
And I went, okay.
And that was really the whole point of everything, was if we could just help one person to think for themselves and to see clearly, and you might have done that.
Yeah. And and nothing might have come from it either. I no idea. Not going to, like, just as much as I'm winging it 99% of the time. I don't know what is in this person's head.
But
and I'm not even
hopefully-
going to assume that I know what's in this person's head. But even just the fact that I had a rational conversation with this person was a win for me.
Mhm.
Because, like, a lot of these comments were just pure hate. And we definitely got the dislike storm, too. On
Oh,
that
yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Like,
I think we're at like 30% like
wow, we got that high. I actually, at one point, I thought it was like 90% dislike.
dislike. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Andrew Tates, they really came.
Yeah. And typically we get 90 to 75 to 90% like.
It's usually about 75%.
Yeah.
So if we say we have 4 people that actually like or dislike, it's like 3 people like and 1 person dislike.
Right. I think the channel average is about 85 to 93% around
Does it?
there. Yeah.
We do
likes.
get a lot of dislikes. And granted, we're not in a lot of YouTube's demographic, you know?
Yeah.
So we get it.
All right, let's go to the next question.
All right. Woefully underinformed and at times uninformed.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I don't know who this person is, but they are correct.
Yeah, absolutely. That actually was from when we talked about the trad wife.
Yes. Which is very interesting that we would get woefully uninformed about trad wives,
Yeah.
because I don't remember us saying anything controversial in that. More,
Just
it's
our
very
opinion on
odd.
but you know.
Yeah. And now that we got Project 2025, I'm seeing this connection, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, next one. How can you kick off a podcast slandering someone when you don't even know basic fact like his religion and dad's religion in the first 3 minutes of the podcast? There's few people better for your son to consume, and I am not even in the real world cult. It is simply just looking at basic facts.
Well, I'm assuming Andrew Tate is the subject matter here. And
his religion really has nothing to do with anything.
right.
And the fact that he was Muslim really kind of threw me too. It was like,
Yeah. It was one of those things like,
why?
well, he's Muslim. It's a big part of his identity. I'm like,
Really?
okay.
I didn't even know that.
And why does that matter?
Yeah.
Because Andrew Tate makes a big deal about it.
About him being Muslim?
Yeah.
Why isn't he married with kids? That's what I don't understand. It's the biggest takeaway.
Because if he got married with kids, then he would stop having to sleep with every woman that he can possibly find and turn her. Because then he would have to go, oh, I'm married now, I can't sleep around. Because, that would look bad for my underlings. That's the way I feel about it.
I have no idea. It's very incongruous, his whole shtick.
That's a big word.
Yeah, big word for strangeness. Okay. This is Carl's all-time favorite, and actually mine too. Who brought back SNL's delicious dish? Dusty Muffin,
That's
your
right,
host.
baby. Got the Dusty Muffin.
I got the Dusty Muffin.
Yeah, that was the Black Israeli one. Yeah. That was that comment hit, and I was like, I don't know what any of this means. I actually literally had to look it up because I was like,
because it's so old.
Because
the
it's so
reference
old. Yeah, and
but it's Betty White.
Yeah, and so like, if you are looking to insult us, referencing like Betty White, like that there's some connection there is not the way to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing about Betty White that is bad to us. Like, we love Betty White.
You
So
like my dusty muffin?
I do. Do you like my my
Sweaty
sweaty balls?
Yes.
My sweaty chocolate balls?
I like your sweaty balls.
Oh, yes. They pop in your mouth.
Dusty muffin. Oh my God. I think we laughed for like an hour after we got that
Well, that
comment.
was Alec Baldwin with the sweaty balls.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I think it was like Alec Baldwin and Betty White. Yeah.
No, it wasn't the two of them. It was the same show.
Same show, but yeah.
Yeah, and they were separate. I don't think they were ever together. If they were, that would have been comedic gold.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they can get together now.
Alec Baldwin's still alive.
So,
All right. Next one.
Yep.
Waste of an hour.
Yes. You actually watched for a whole hour?
Damn.
It's like that kind of message. So one, that could have been anything. Because yes, they're all waste of an hour. But the it reminds
Waste
me
of an hour.
it reminds me of Mole Man from The Simpsons. He got trapped in the freezer. So it was at Apu's, and Apu had to like leave or something, and he accidentally got like locked in the freezer or something like that, or in the store. And he's like, I've been here for 2 hours. I want my life back. And he's like, never mind, I'd waste it anyway. If it took
too
you
much
an
problem.
hour to listen to our entire podcast and then to realize that it was a waste of your hour, I think you need to look at how you deal with entertainment.
He was probably doing something else too. He was probably playing a game while listening.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. He's got a stream deck and he's just like, what? Yeah.
Waste of an hour.
Waste of an hour. God. Yeah. Like what I'm imagining is that he has like this listening room where he's got like this leather couch and like rich mahogany and
he's there just listening to our dulcet tones.
And he has his dinner jacket on and he has a cognac and a cigar and he sat down and he searched and he found our podcast and he sat there and he listened to it, sipping. Listening. And then after the hour, he's like, that was a waste of my hour.
Oh, wow. I got the tone totally wrong there.
Yes, no, I think he's a very affluent man, very rich.
Waste.
A waste of my hour.
Of
And
an
I want my hour back.
Time is money.
Not because he had it going and he probably had it at 3x speed because, you know, he had like 30 other things that was going on at the time and, you know, vaping probably.
All right, next one. We're getting close to the end.
Woo!
And we're almost at the best one.
Okay.
And you know, I randomly organized this on Excel, and it actually, the last one is the best one.
Oh my God. Did you put these in Excel?
Oh, no. Google Sheets. Sorry.
Oh, same thing.
Oh.
Nerd.
Yeah. And then I randomly sorted them. Dreaming as well. Read the books.
Yes. I'm going to assume that's Jim Jones.
Dreaming is real.
Tim Ballard. Are we dreaming about Tim Ballard? God, these Carlos Castaneda people are so stereotypical. Like,
but they don't really, they don't seem like ketamine addicts like the Tim Ballard people.
That's true. That is true. They're more like peyote addicts. And you know what? Actually, I bet if they took peyote, they wouldn't be commenting on random YouTube videos about the witches of Carlos Castaneda.
It wasn't even about Castaneda.
Now, it was about the witches.
Like, I just wanted to give a little bit of history. Anyway, just cracks me up. Like, the two most hate comments was Andrew Tate and then Castaneda.
And Castaneda was just, like I said, it was a different, and it wasn't like pure hate. It was just more of like,
you're an idiot.
Scoffing.
Yeah.
It's like,
read the books.
How do you not read the books?
No es bueno. Talk about
now
ignorance.
I just want chocolate now.
Talk about ignorance.
Are we talking about ignorance?
We're talking about ignorance.
Yes. That was the whole.
That was the comment.
That was the whole comment. That was. Wow. That could have been literally
It could have been
everything.
everyone.
Jesus.
All the cultists say stuff like that.
I'm gonna go with what everybody says to me when I open my mouth at all times. No? Oh, okay. Now it's a real video. Talk about ignorance. Actually, I think I remember this one. And it was not Shinjuki. No. Was it Shinjuki?
No, this is like another Castaneda. So last.
Oh, okay.
Jamie goes, we'll read the books, and then the next one talk about ignorance.
Yeah.
All Castaneda.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Complete. And I think a lot of people have a very bad definition of like what ignorance means. Yes. Very ignorant about Carlos Castaneda. That was a very, very accurate thing. I think they meant it in a very harmful way. But yeah, I am very ignorant of Carlos Castaneda, and even to this day, I'm very ignorant of him.
Yep.
I'm
And
a very
it will
ignorant
remain-
person.
Or remain that way. All right, last comment.
Ooh. We ready?
Ready?
I'm ready.
Library called. You're late for work.
Yeah, that was the Black Israelites.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had to look that one up too. And apparently my lovely wife who has a dusty muffin also looks like a librarian.
Ooh.
And
We have plans later.
honestly, there's a lot of things in my life that you could say to me that would make me very upset. Those two things are not on that list. I remember seeing those, and I think both of us kind of looked at it and went,
How do
"Is
you
this
call
an insult?"
yeah. How do you call someone old without calling them old?
Just say we're old, and
You're
that's not
old.
an insult either. It's a fact. It is just the is of the thing.
Or like somebody, the first one about our haircuts. Like
Yeah.
my bad haircuts.
Yeah.
We're ugly. We're old and ugly.
Yeah.
Okay.
The doy, but we enjoy each other's bodies immensely.
Oh my god. I don't even know. But like, okay. Refocus. Because we're late for work.
No, relate to the yeah. Yes, sorting books apparently, because that's an insult.
Yeah, I
Being a
don't know.
librarian is an insult. No.
But it doesn't matter the cult leader. Like they're all kind of interchangeable, right?
Yeah.
The comments that people make, and it's
Of course.
cultists are cultists, and
Well,
dislikes are dislikes.
and I think the thing is, right? I think the thing is that if let's just imagine, because I want to see this kind of for future videos as well as all the past ones as well. So, one, I appreciate everybody that's watched all of our videos. I'm sometimes shocked that people watch our videos as much as they do. We do try to be informative and helpful. We really do. I think that's our big thing. It's information. It is not breaking down these groups.
And we're not going to read cult leaders.
And we're not going to read. We're not
what they write.
like it gives them power. That's our opinion. It gives them power. So why give them power, right? Expose them. But you don't need to read a book to expose someone's fallacies, right?
On the flip side, though, I will always read a book from a survivor.
Right.
And I've read all those books.
Yeah.
And I'll read them. I'll read and
there's probably a bias in those. But if you're telling us that Carlos Castaneda doesn't have a bias towards Carlos Castaneda, then you're delusional, right? Because he does. And but I also want to talk about who's the YouTuber that you love? The guy that does the really in-depth stories. He only does like something like every 3 to 6 months. Okay.
Oki's World.
Okay.
Oki.
Yeah. Him, right? He does these super, and honestly, if you haven't seen his stuff, go look at his stuff. His stuff is incredible.
Yeah.
But he spends 6 months to a year to research these people to do one video on them. that's not us.
No, we're just like spouting off our opinions.
Yeah, this is an opinion channel, and my wife, coming from a cult background, has that aspect of her life, and I have my own opinions. But these are not truths. They're not factual. They could be based on a fact, but most of the time they're not. And I'm really don't have the time to spend 9 months reading all of Carlos Castaneda stuff so I can sit there and say, now that I have read all of his stuff, I think he's an idiot. I can
And a homophobe and
a
sexist.
homophobe, yeah. I can briefly look over his material on a Wikipedia page and go, okay, this guy's an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel how me reading all of his information will get me to the same conclusion of a cult leader. I just don't see how those two things are connected. It's also like saying it'd be like a Carlos Castaneda follower saying, why didn't you read Ranieri's work?
Keith Raniere.
Keith Ranieri's work to talk about NXIVM. Nobody has ever said that before. Why aren't other cult members saying that stuff?
No, it's
about other cult leaders.
It's the cultists themselves. These are all cultists that are leaving these comments.
Exactly. So if you are really concerned about the truth, then you would be going to look at, well, why didn't you read all of David Koresh's, content before you start talking about
Happy Science.
Happy Science.
Happy Science.
Oh my God. Or
so you would have been,
yeah.
You would have been so jealous. Happy Science. Somebody found like thousands of their books at a thrift store recently. It was on a subreddit. I was like, oh, Carl would have been so jealous of this. I think he would have bought everything.
You know what? I might have actually.
He would have bought everything. He loves Happy Science.
Yeah, Happy Science is, I still feel like it's the Disneyland of
cults.
Cults.
They're like your favorite cult, Happy Science.
Yeah, yeah. And just how batshit crazy they really are.
Yeah.
And they really are. They're like the anime version, the sugar pop version of Om Shirinkyo, like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he loves Happy Science. All right. Well, thank you. We're at 1,000. Thank you so much.
We
and
really appreciate it.
This has been fun. It's been fun. And hopefully I'll get a job. So
yeah.
Wish me luck.
And here's to the next big one. Let's say we're gonna do something like this again at 2,000. Let's just do it every 1,000. Because this was fun. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this a lot.
Yeah, this is fun.
Maybe it won't be another 7 months before we get to the 2,000 mark.
Maybe. I don't know. All right. Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
And thank you for yourself. Don't be